These two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
It's a Statements Monday edition of Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd. It's also a Victory Monday across the Score North podcast. 2-0 Vikings. Judd doing this podcast from inside the Vikings practice facility right now. Look at that. You going to get some treatment too? Go in, get stretched out.
Where would they start with my 54-year-old body? Ow. I mean, I don't even want to know. Well, Mr. Zolgad, this will take a couple of days, and you'll be good to go.
Sir, can you touch your toes? Okay, let's try your knees. Can you touch your knees bending over? No? Okay.
Why don't you just go get a beer, dude. Just get out of here.
So, okay, let's get right into it here. Monday statements on Minnesota sports with Mackey and Judd. Dex, you lead us off.
All right, first statement from me after another glorious Vikings win, this time over one of the better teams in the NFL in the San Francisco 49ers. My statement is the Vikings finally have the right running backs. They finally have the right running backs here. Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler. Chandler actually has a huge day, 82 yards on 10 carries. Not as an effective day for Aaron Jones, maybe on the ground if you're just looking at attempts to yards, but caught numerous passes. Boys, we have an effective screen game. I was getting so many tweets and notes and also throwing up my hands in celebration watching this team finally execute good screen execution with the right players in place. Look, Aaron Jones, I think when active and healthy, is still one of the 10 best running backs in football. Ty Chandler is this great complementary piece. I don't know if Ty Chandler will ever be like a true number one type running back. Maybe he could be. But I do think he is a phenomenal complementary piece, very similar a la to Jerick McKinnon, who's now also thriving in Kansas City and might be thriving more with Pacheco being out long term. But the Vikings finally have the right running backs here. Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler, this two-headed monster. They're still working in Chandler, every third series when they come out there. I love what Aaron Jones brings. It just took a complete overhaul, saying goodbye to Dalvin Cook, saying goodbye to Alexander Mattison, and now the right pieces are in place in Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler.
Back-to-back games of more than 100 yards rushing in each, including as a team on Sunday, 146. Do you gentlemen care to guess what the Vikings had as a team combined rushing in their first two games in 2023?
I don't know what. I guess
it's a number that makes the kids laugh.
Yeah, because I saw a stat that they averaged only 34 yards in both games.
They had a combined 69 yards in two games last year. So therein lies, and quite frankly, I don't know that we care who gets the yards. And we did see, here's the little thing. Well,
Crazy Legs Darnold had 32.
That's what I was just going to say. How about that 18-yard run to set up the big leg Bill field goal at the end of the first half, a response to the San Francisco touchdown on where the Niners were convinced, oh, man, we're going to cover everybody, and there was all this room. And how about Darnold taking off? Darnold doesn't look like he would run, but he is athletic.
He's more athletic than you would think, just sort of looking at him. He also doesn't look like he plays professional football when you look at him. He's just looks like he rolled out of bed, maybe play some Madden. But he on that play, because with the TV cam, you can't really see where the routes are once they go past the cutoff on the right. And he starts it looked like he was going to go for it all because he kind of cocked his shoulders whoa, he's creeping up in the pocket.
Yep.
And so my first thought was, what did he not pull the trigger on there? Was there a guy flashing open? And then you watched it. They showed the all-22 on the replay, and everybody was blanketed, and he was just doing that to send the defensive backs further down the field. And he opens up, an 18-yard running lane. He had a couple other nice scrambles. But, it was Aaron Jones in week one in terms of just big-time success. And Ty Chandler with 10 carries for 82 yards. So, overall, huge improvement. Yeah. Huge improvement in the run game, yes. Okay, Judd.
Vikings fans, I'm talking to you right now. So this weekend statement's not about the team. It's about you. I think this team is building something that's pretty cool. I like the direction. This team in particular, through two games, is fun. Kevin O'Connell praised you on Sunday. Like to thank our fans. Our fans are awesome. I say au contraire, Mr. O'Connell. I don't know that I can agree with that. Here's my statement. Stop selling your tickets. The Chiefs game, the Niners game last year, the Niners game, home opener Sunday, filled with fans that were wearing red. It used to be a problem with the Packers, and I sort of get that. But what are we doing here, folks? Like, you are selling your tickets. Those are season tickets. Those are not, as far as I know, those are not random seats that the Niners fans are picking off in the end zone really low that are great seats, okay? Stop selling your tickets. What are you doing? I mean, O'Connell was trying to be nice, and the Vikings fans who were there were fine, like loud, and the pop on the Jefferson 97-yard touchdown catch was incredible. So that was great. Intensity was great. Way too many opposing fans, though, for a game like that. And they're not coming from Wisconsin. They're Niners fans. They might be coming from Iowa a bit for Purdy and Kittle, but stop selling your tickets. The team, basically, this is a team that can use you. They can use your noise.
Couple things.
That's my statement.
Okay.
I think Niners, I think Niners fans
We got it.
do travel incredibly well. We saw it I went to MOA last year when they were here on Monday Night Football for, I think it was Halloween, right? And that entire mall was just filled with people in their Niners gear. I was like, oh my God. And the Niners only come here, once every 4 years. Hell, they haven't won in my entire lifetime at this place.
They've been here back-to-back years now, though.
Yeah, but my point is they typically, obviously, they don't come here every single year. And look, if you are buying season tickets, it's a very pretty investment. You want a little ROI on that. You want some money back in your pocket. I understand what they're doing. I kind of understand what they're doing.
You weren't there, dude. There were thousands of Niners fans there. It wasn't just a couple of people that sold their tickets. Stop selling your tickets. If you want season tickets, go to the damn games.
Here's what I think happened, because it wasn't like Niners fans bought tickets on Friday and, oh my God, we'll just catch a flight. So I think there's been a lot of just apathy, malaise throughout the offseason, that this is a transition year. And then J.J. McCarthy started to get people excited, but then he goes down with the injury a month before the season. And I think some Vikings fans made a business decision right around the time McCarthy went down and said, all right, well, I don't want to sell all my tickets because I still love the Vikings. But, man, they're probably going to get smoked against the 49ers. It's still technically summer in September. We could get one more weekend at the cabin or whatever it is. The weather is going to be nice, and so let's just sell off like a September game or two, and then we can settle in. And I think that's what happened. I'm not condoning it.
I'm not condoning it. I will not condone it.
People definitely did not foresee the Vikings starting 2-0 and beating the Niners. I mean, if only there were someone on a podcast somewhere that would have been predicting this exact start the entire summer. But that's fine. You don't have to listen to me.
Yep, exactly right. My statement, stop selling your tickets.
Okay. My first statement is, I think we have to go with the official nickname that Kevin O'Connell referenced in his post-game speech yesterday.
Okay.
Will the Thrill. Will the Thrill is being officially acknowledged now by Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings. We've been trying to find a nickname for the kicker. He made, 3 field goals yesterday? The game-sealing field goal from 40 yards. So big day for what we've been calling him Big Leg Bill. I'm going to still sprinkle in some Big Leg Bill.
Yeah.
I don't love Will the Thrill because Will Clark already there's already a famous baseball player, World Series winning baseball player, I think MVP maybe even, that was Will the Thrill Clark. It's a generation ago. So I don't love just stealing the nickname, but if Kevin O'Connell is going to reference him as Will the Thrill, I think we have to sort of jump on the bandwagon. You're shaking your head.
I'm out on that. No. Big Leg Bill. Big Leg Bill is good. Will the Thrill... Now, first of all, that has to be earned more. If this guy starts to nail 55-yard kicks, which, by the way, have you guys seen the efficiency, including in that Texans-Bears game last night? There's something 4 kicks of 50-plus yards. It's gotten nuts. But anyway, I'm going Big Leg Bill until there's something that is so thrilling. And I'm with you. Will the Thrill just seems generic. Big Leg Bill, it's sort of generic, but it also acknowledges what he does. But
it's not his real name. Okay, but it's funnier. I don't know. I I'm biased because we
What was that voice,
dreamt
Phil?
it up.
I don't know.
Well, but his name's not actually Bill. Well, okay, but
Napoleon Dynamite. You're so stupid.
my lips hurt real bad. My lips hurt real bad. Put some Burt's Bees chapstick on. What was it, guys? I have another Vikings one. I mean, I don't want to jump out of order, but before we get to non-Vikings stuff.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Because there's other NFL stuff. I even have a social etiquette statement or more of a question for you guys I want to get to.
Cool.
I got a good one, too.
But next Viking statement here from me is stay away from Justin Jefferson, you vultures.
Oh,
Adam Schefter, ESPN.com. There's always these little stories that these reporters sit on for the morning national pregame shows, right? So this one came out a couple hours before kickoff. Amid the offseason uncertainty surrounding Brandon Ayuk, the 49ers checked in on Justin Jefferson's trade availability before the NFL draft this past year. But the Vikings had zero interest in trading the star wide receiver and immediately rebuffed San Francisco's inquiries, league sources told ESPN. The Niners were not the only team to check in on Jefferson. The Jets and the Colts specifically also had some level of interest, but the Vikings never considered moving the three-time Pro Bowler, and talks never went anywhere, according to sources. Those inquiries, easy for me to pronounce, came before the Vikings signed Jefferson to a record contract in June. So Niners, Jets, and Colts all tried to swoop in and trade for Justin Jefferson. And the Vikings said, no, go away. Get out of here. Stop calling. Blocked.
that was actually a story that was atop their wire for a good portion of the day. And it's like, how long, to your point, Phil, did Schefter sit on that? Months? Weeks?
Yeah, he caught wind before the draft. And then I don't know if some of this timeline was after the draft, but yeah, for clearly months he had been sitting on this.
Yep.
So stay away, you vultures. Okay, Dex.
Next one from me. I have a baseball kind of one. Actually, I'm going to take Judd's statement and use it as a positive. My statement is probably a good idea to sell those tickets. So I don't know if you guys saw what Target Field looked like, especially on a football Sunday yesterday.
I got one of this too.
It was bleak there.
I forgot they were playing. I got to be honest with you.
Playoff tickets on sale.
Yeah, playoff tickets are on sale.
I just got the email. Playoff tickets on sale. Go get those playoff tickets, ladies and gentlemen.
They have the priority going, which is good. But you have the Angels here, you have the Reds here, and the vibes around the Twins, which we'll touch on the state of the Twins, still aren't great. You go 3-3 on a homestand. And even though the Niners maybe occupied, 40 to 50% of US Bank Stadium yesterday, I understand. I empathize if you're a Twins season ticket holder. And don't get me wrong, as a former Twins season ticket holder, I understand when to sell those tickets. And I understand selling those tickets for that reason. One more homestand left for the Twins, but I don't fault any Twins fan for selling those tickets and basically looking like a Legion game at a Major League ballpark.
Oh, I agree completely. Or just don't use them. Who cares at this point in time? Yeah. In fact, I've got a statement off that same thing. MLB. And we have talked about this. This is hammering a topic, but I have found a new entry point, okay? MLB. Roku is paying you $10 million a year to broadcast a package of Sunday games that start at noon, which I think they start in like May, okay? That's fine. But MLB, not Roku, who I love, MLB, what are you morons doing playing a noon game against NFL football games and selling that to anybody and saying it's valuable? The Twins game started at the time of the kickoff, and I'm not saying there's any good time, okay? But it's the greater point here. Roku should demand that game be moved to another date. I don't know, but how can you tell them they are getting their value when you had them starting first pitch, I think was 12:05. Last time I checked, the ball was in the air at US Bank Stadium around 12:02.
How about 11:58? What if we started like 3 minutes early, and so we could get a jump on the other competitive show, Judd? What do you think of that idea?
Ding.
Oh, that's
Ding.
not a bad idea. Shut up, Declan. Shut up. Just shut up. But anyway, I mean, MLB, how many media things do you want to screw up? Your blackouts are stupid. They're archaic. And now you literally have a package of games that you are saying, oh, okay, here's your choice, Phil. Do you want to watch the Vikings game or, hell, any National Football League game? Or do you want to dial up a baseball game from a company that's paying good money for it? Yeah, just outrageously stupid. A baseball again. Nice job, Rob.
Old Bobby Manfred.
Roku TV executives who are trying to get into the game are like as thick and as knowledgeable and educated as some of the other big time players that know that.
No, I'm saying, but baseball should look and say we don't want to sell you a lemon of a package. So when football starts, let's move your game to Saturday. Let's move it to Friday. I don't know, anytime but noon on Sunday.
Baseball should actually stop putting any games at noon on Sunday. Sunday should almost become like a standard off day for baseball.
That sounds crazy.
During September, like you should just get out of Sunday. Golf did it, dude. Golf was like running their FedEx playoffs up against the first 3 weeks of the NFL regular season.
Yeah,
and they finally said, you know what? Let's actually take one of our majors, move it from August back to May, and clear out August for the FedEx Cup, and we can compete with NFL preseason games. And then we can crown Scotty Scheffler or whoever the week before the NFL season starts and just be done with it.
Thank you.
They tapped out.
WrestleMania, is now late April for this coming year?
I think. I think it might be like early May, right?
Because they didn't want to go against college draft, March Madness, and then the draft, which is
what I'm saying?
Clear out,
man.
Yeah, Rob, clear out, you idiot.
WWE is on fire right now.
Okay, I'm going to bring it back to football here.
Foosball.
My next statement is the Indianapolis Colts should be ashamed of themselves. So the Packers are sitting here reeling. Jordan Love, I know they try to make it seem like, he's getting closer to playing. No, and then I think the national shows were saying it's week 5. Like Ian Rappaport saying he's not coming back till week 5. So you're the Indianapolis Colts, and you're going up against Malik Willis as the starting quarterback for the Packers. You know that the Packers are going to run the football all day long, and you still gave up 261 yards. Also, I would say this. Credit to Matt LaFleur. You got 1 week to figure out what are we doing with Malik Willis here. Jordan Love is out. What's our game plan? And they said 53 rushing attempts for 261 yards. And all of it was just chunks, man. The longest run they had was 34 yards. Malik Willis winds up throwing it only 14 times, 12 of 14, a $122, and a touchdown. Now, I do think the fact that this is now out there, it should have been obvious to the Colts what was going to happen going into the game. What do you think? You think Malik Willis is dropping back 35 times? I don't think so. Now that this is on film, defenses like the Vikings in a couple weeks, Brian Flores should be able to figure out how to crack this code. But the Colts, like, how did you not have a better prepared plan? 53 rush attempts, you should be welcoming that in that game, and they got bowled over by it.
Yeah. Yeah, that it is, to your secondary point, it's a credit, though. Like LaFleur, he started, right? And it's like, well, he's got Rodgers, and he did help him. But I think that we've always tried to find excuses for, well, he's good, but he's not good. No, he's really damn good.
He's a really good coach.
He's a really, really
So is Kevin
smart
O'Connell.
Yeah, but this is why that tree is so great.
Yeah, in fact, in that division right now, and I know the Lions lost yesterday, which, wow, Baker Mayfield, Buccaneers, that team is legit.
Yeah,
but Dan Campbell has shown what he can do. Matt Eberflus, maybe this is another statement within a statement here.
It's not.
Dude, the Bears are who we thought they were. It doesn't matter what quarterback you draft. Now, I'm making a vast judgment after 2 games, but somebody did the digging on this, that Caleb Williams has the lowest net yards per attempt of any quarterback the first 2 games of a season in like the last 10 years or something ridiculous.
Wow.
It's a disaster.
He's throwing college passes too. Like he's
trying to like scramble out of trouble. Like, dude, this isn't Utah State you're playing here.
Exactly. And he has significant arm talent, but this league doesn't care about that really. So it's like, I'm going to throw this pass up. It's double coverage. And no, that one was picked off. Okay, I'm going to do this. That's picked off.
I'm going to keep this play alive with my legs by zigzagging. Oh, that linebacker is 255 pounds and runs a 4.7 40, dude. He's catching you.
We called this, though. Eberflus, when you draft Caleb, who I do think has talent, when you draft him number 1 overall and give him a defensive-minded coach, who, by the way, failed miserably with Justin Fields, who, by the way, is winning in Pittsburgh now because he's being managed correctly.
Pittsburgh's winning in Pittsburgh.
Well, right, but he's
Justin
being
Fields is there too.
They're managing him correctly. That's the point. You've got to manage guys. I mean, O'Connell's a genius at it. Now, if the guy has enough experience, the management expectation goes up. But I mean, Eberflus looks at every quarterback and says, "How's my defense doing?" You can tell.
Yeah,
get out of here. Hook them.
It's really too bad for them. I don't know. Maybe it's time to start picking on the Bears on Underdog, Dex. Maybe it's time to
ride the under. Maybe ride the under on the underdogs there. That's totally okay. I did get a nice winning pick here from my guy Don. Don took 5 little items here. Took Justin Jefferson. Took Jalen Naylor. Big leg Bill. That's right. You got field goal props at Underdog. You rode that. That had a little boost on it, which is always awesome. Even defensive players. You can take defensive players in Underdog. Cam Bynum had 8 tackles. You did take Nick Bosa, which I do understand. He did have a couple sacks there yesterday. But Underdog.
Nick Bosa made Darisaw's life hell a couple times in that game.
He did. Yeah, he's so good, Bosa. He's one of the more entertaining non-quarterbacks. Just a stop-and-watch defensive player. But at Underdog, it's a profit bonus today, too. 10% profit bonus on any pick 'em you make in the next 12 hours. If you want to get in on Falcons and Eagles, go to Underdog, download the app. Promo code SCORE, SKOR, gets you up to a 50% deposit match. Shout out to Underdog for being back here on Score North.
Amazing. All right, Judd, back to you.
Okay. Statement on football, but I'm going to go just a little bit across town to Dinkytown and Huntington Bank Stadium and say this. Here's my statement. The Gophers are 2.5-point dogs against the Hawkeyes at home Saturday night. The Gophers should win this game. And it shouldn't be on oh my God, was that a fair catch or not, to end one of the worst football games I've seen. The Gophers have the Hawkeyes at home. Iowa, I believe it was played Troy on Saturday. They trailed at the half. That game was close until late. The Hawkeyes ain't that good.
And then you're talking about USC Troy. You're talking about like Troy, right?
Like Troy State, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. No. I'm not talking about the Troy nation. Anyway, the Gophers should win this game, and I'm not kidding. If Darius Taylor plays, I believe it was 3 touchdowns on Saturday. Special player. He is a special player. He makes that. It's incredible. But when he's playing, the offense goes far more efficiently, and he's just good. Like it's not a fluke. This is a game the Gophers should win. And part of this is, and I was talking to an unnamed person about this, quit being intimidated because you're playing Kirk Ferentz. They ain't that good.
Did Goldie Gopher tell you that off the
record?
They're
not that good. They're not that good. Unnamed sources had a very good point. They said, you know what? You can't respect Kirk Ferentz. You got to just go out there and just like the Vikings did to the Niners, because the Hawkeyes like to play defense as well, kick their butts physically, win the game, and keep that damn pig trophy.
Over in that game, 36.5.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
So Iowa games are 3-0 on the over so far this year.
Oh,
it's not like the games are 53-27 here. They're just the over unders are usually 34, 35, or 36. You know, I'll give you one sort of within here. It has nothing to do with actual football, but so season ticket holder, proud Gopher alum here. Row the boat, Sky Imago Gophers. Haven't allowed a point in like 2 weeks. Very exciting. Defense, let's go. I had a Larry David type Curb Your Enthusiasm social etiquette moment that I'd like to run by you guys here. So it's not like a statement. It's more of a question within statements here. I want to know, what is proper etiquette for saving a table in a public area? So I'll leave names out of this, but Gophers, Nevada. It was halftime, and we were sitting up in the very luxurious, posh Club Cambria. Judd's been up there. It's where all the actually, it's not where all, because there's like levels to the club game at Huntington Bank Stadium. But it's a good place. You can, when it's cold outside, you can go in, warm up, grab a little a snack, a Hormel hot dog, whatever it is. And there's a bunch of tables that you can they're just like open tables. You can go sit down. If the three of us are at a game, we could just like go grab one for 10, 15 minutes or for the whole quarter and just, have a couple beers, whatever, right? Yeah. Wide open, first come, first serve seating in the Club Cambria area. So a friend of mine, I'm getting this story secondhand. So a friend of mine with his son walks over to an empty table, a four-topper. The only thing that was on the table was a packet of fruit snacks.
Unopened or opened?
Opened.
Okay.
Open packet of fruit snacks. Like a small open packet of fruit snacks.
Could mean anything.
Yep. Otherwise, nothing in the chairs, nothing on the table, nobody sitting there, nobody like even putting a hand on a chair. It's just open. There's a pack of fruit snacks. So buddy and friend go sit down at this table. A man comes walking over, I don't know what the time range is here, but like within the minute that they sit down, angrily grabs the fruit snacks off the table and says, "Thanks for taking my son's seat."
Oh, God.
How do you handle? So you've come, it's you and your kid, or it could be anyone, just you and your buddies, and you've sat down at an empty table. The only thing on the table is a half-eaten pack of fruit snacks. And somebody else comes over, angrily, passive-aggressively, reaches over, swipes the fruit snacks, and says, "Thanks for taking my son's seat."
It's not claimed.
What's your play?
Yeah,
That's an unclaimed
Yep.
table. Now, if it's a kid, there could be, negotiations to get that back. Like,
How
if
old's the kid? I need to know how old the kid is.
Yeah, and like, does the kid, there's a lot of things here, but to assume that is taken because it has fruit snacks, which, by the way, I mean, we see in situations like that at games, there are always beers left, right? And sometimes it's because the person went and passed out and puked. Like you don't know they're coming back. It's one thing. I think it's hard enough and borderline rude if you get a table and then your friends are coming and there's an open table to say, "Oh, I'm saving that." Like
I
that.
agree.
That ticks me off.
Yes.
So fruit snacks, buddy, come on, get a life. No, that's he's 1,000% wrong. I would say again, if the kid's a kid, small kid, he's crying something, take it back. That's fine. But this guy is a straight up idiot.
Also, how can we prove that that's really your kid? Huh?
It's a lot of questions. I agree.
You need a better landmark than Welch's Fruit Snacks or whatever the heck. Like, you need a coat there, a hat there. Like, and look, you run the risk of someone taking that. I understand that.
Yeah.
But you need a better landmark to claim that seat than Fruit Snacks.
Agreed.
Sorry,
you got to put a sweatshirt on a chair.
You know what you need?
A hat on the table even, I think, reserves that table.
I like this at bars. I like the beer that's not finished yet with the coaster on top, so I know, like, you've got to, and then at events like that
sometimes, like,
it's but at an event like that, it's all borderline, man. That's not a
I think there has to be contact with a chair or a garment on a chair almost to really, if there's a coat hung on, now it's summertime, it's 80 degrees, so there's not as many garments to reserve things, but yeah, I mean, it's fair game. And then to do the passive-aggressive guilt-tripping thing as if, like, yes, my intention was to physically steal this chair and these fruit snacks, but I'm going to eat the fruit snacks too. That's right. Tell your kid to go bleep off. Yeah. No, that's not.
That's awful. Like, that guy's 1,000% in the wrong, and that's a really bad example. If that indeed was your kid, that's a bad example to give that kid because life don't work like that, mister.
So just wanted to verify proper etiquette there.
Your friend was right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any statements from you guys? Final statements?
Yeah, just a couple quick ones here. Number one, at the last wedding of 2024, 5 of 5, checked them off. I saw a guy on Friday night and Grand Casino Hinckley in a Muweldy Moore Vikings jersey.
Love it.
Glorious.
I mean,
I was on that boat. I'm engaged.
I could not believe my eyes when I saw a guy rocking a Muweldy Moore Vikings jersey. I thought it was great.
We should like carve out a segment where we highlight the best Vikings jerseys we saw over the weekend. I saw a Jeff George Vikings jersey in the tailgate lots yesterday.
So was that from that era too of Vikings football where they had those jerseys that were absolutely atrocious?
That was before, like, when they updated them, like in 05. Is that what you're talking about, that era?
Yeah, I think it was 06 with Childress.
06.
They started to look like high school jerseys.
Yeah, no, this was pre that.
Okay, so it was a good jersey though.
I think Mueldy even left like in 04 or 05, like so.
Was he on the 06 team?
He might not have been there for
Chester
06.
Taylor. I think Chester and
But he might have been a
Mueldy, I think,
backup.
were there together.
Yeah, and 05, he definitely was, because he is the one that confirmed the boat cruise by saying, I wasn't on that boat. I'm engaged. We're like, oh, so there was a boat cruise. Thanks a lot, Mueldy. That's all we need to know.
And then last thing, after being at 5 weddings, including my own this summer, personal vows. And maybe this, I don't mean to like crack open a whole can of worms on vows, because myself, I'm very anti-personal vows. My take of a wedding is we're all here. You know we love each other. I don't need to tell like this sappy best friend story, which, by the way, like best friend for me with your spouse is a cringe word. I don't know why. It just it cringes me. My mother said you don't marry your best friend. You marry your husband, your wife, your spouse, your partner. It's not your best friend. And that's always stuck with me as a young kid. And I think that's probably why it's wired in my brain. However, the vows at this wedding, the last one I went to Mary and Nate, their lovely wedding that they had in the woods up in central Minnesota. Nate had some health issues that everyone like had known about, that he has overcome, and he's in a better place now. And everyone knew that story. So both their personal vows had that tied in. There wasn't a dry eye, basically, in the entire ceremony. I thought it was beautiful. But of other weddings that I have been to, like, I don't need some random, like, small detail thing that only you two know about that you want to share with everyone else that we have no context on. Like, I have no idea about this. And to be honest, I don't really care about this. Like, that's not selling you guys to, like, the masses. So, like, personal vows, I'm trying to, like, workshop my statement here. I'm on a rant. But personal vows, we got to know our place in personal vows. That's all I'm saying.
Like, an example.
There's two rants in one here, though. There's the you don't think personal vows are meant for the public ceremony, and you don't think you should marry your best friend. There's like two statements and takes in one.
Yeah,
here.
I'd like to parse this out. So, like, give me the example of what was said that you objected to, because I feel like I need more from your statement.
Like some random little thing that like you do for one another on like a random day. Like, I know on Wednesdays that you like to do this. Like, I don't care.
As long as it's quick, I don't care.
Yeah,
like, as long as you go
and quick.
Yeah, I'm with Judd on this. Listen,
don't time me out.
I think if we can just keep all wedding ceremonies to 15, maybe I'll give you like 3 or 4 minutes of overtime, depending on logistics. And whatever you want to do with those 15 or 20 minutes.
Extra time is like soccer.
Yeah, there's like
there's the clock. The clock's we've got 3 minutes of extra wedding time.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. Just do whatever you want in those 15 or 18 minutes. And if there's little, if there's little details that only you guys know, that's fine. At least you're not being disrespectful with everyone's time, and we get to go to the open bar. You know
what? I think they do this in Wedding Crashers. But like, they all take bets on what's going to be said during the vows, like Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson are, and Kelsey and I do it at every wedding. Like, we actually played write that down the morning of like writing things down that were going to be said.
Write things down.
So yes, and just like there's just some cringe words and stuff that just I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
The best friends thing I can sort out. All right. In your 20s for sure, into your 30s, you still have like really good friends, i.e. best friends, like guy friends, right? So I always thought this exact thing that Dex said. It's like, Dawn's my wife. She's not my best friend. Like, we quibble too much to be best friends. By my age now, you don't go out. So so her and Stella are now my best friends.
By default,
right.
The only people that you hang out with besides us.
And Dawn's got a best friend, so I would say that she's my best friend. I don't know that I'm
not hers
best friend. But I hear you, Dex. Like in your 20s, no, it's your wife. You are not. If you're best friends, you are headed for misery because you're going to try to spend all your time together. What are you doing? No. Hey, quickly, the woods.
Yeah, the woods. It was like
boy, that's not gonna the non-starter for the
I had my reservations, but it was beautiful, not buggy at all. Like that, the bugs is what I was honestly really. And this was like
question.
It's a outdoor ceremony. Like, it's not like just some random wedding.
That's what I'm trying to get
Twilight.
A mental image.
Yeah,
hey, it's Ned Beatty.
This was an actual venue and
Deliverance.
And yeah, it was a good spot.
Okay.
It was very
Okay.
good.
All right,
So
we're
it's
just gonna get in these canoes here, and we're
got
gonna
on a school
blindfold
bus.
you.
where's Kathy Bates?
We literally got on a school bus from the hotel to the venue because they don't
Totally dressed up
allow
or no?
venues. Yeah, it was black tie.
Okay. No.
Black tie.
No. If we're doing
Also-
that, I'm not going black tie.
I can't. I tried. And I get so frustrated when I can't do something. I tried for 20 minutes to try to tie a bow tie. And the last step,
I can't do that.
just can't. I could tie a tie blindfolded.
Yep, me
I
too.
could.
Me too.
A bow tie, there's this last step where you have to get it through the knot. No idea.
That's a lot, man.
Just
Yeah.
no
Professional.
idea.
You get a professional for that.
Or clip it on and just
Yeah.
deal with the ramifications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. I've got one, non-sports. Here's my statement. And I tweeted this on Friday, so you both saw this. Always check your shoes. So we get done with the show on Friday, and I'm like, okay, O'Connell talks fairly quickly, but I got time. I'm going to buzz out to the Vikings, hear Kevin talk, open locker room, check in with some players like Doogie does. And I happen to have I've got a new pair of kicks, which I have shown you guys. I'm very proud of these. I like these kicks, okay? They're fine.
Yeah. They're good. Yes.
Not sexy, but they're fine.
Get the job done.
But my old pair of shoes, which are beat up to hell, are right by it. So I slip on my left one, and then I slip on a right shoe. And then I go out merrily along my way to the Vikings. Go to the press conference, ask O'Connell a few questions. And at the end of the press conference, Lindsey Young of the Vikings, who's as nice a person as you ever want to meet, she says, Judd, I got a question for you. And you could tell she doesn't really want to ask it. And I'm like, yeah, what? And she goes, did you mean to wear two different shoes? And I look down and I have two different shoes on. And the other old shoe, here's the worst part. The old shoe on my right foot has a significant hole that's been worn in the side. So I literally have my toe, and I didn't even realize it, coming out of one shoe. And then on my left foot, I've got my nice new shoe.
How
No.
different do they look in terms of color and style? Like I'm trying. Was one of them? So you showed us the one that's sort of dark. It's like dark.
Similar in
Adidas.
style, and the old one is black, a black shoe, and this is more of a dark blue shoe. So I am, but here's the best part. I'm 54, so I'm like, oh man, that's funny, but I really don't care. Went and worked the locker room. I don't think anybody else noticed it.
Well, I mean,
think
your feet, your like white sock hanging out of the side of one of your shoes would be
a giveaway.
alarming to
I know,
most people. I
but
feel.
guys,
Who's this
let me
homeless
urge
man
you.
interviewing
Exactly.
you about
Why is the
nickel
guy?
defense schemes.
In fact, can I the nickel? Let's talk about the dime package. And by the way, can I have a dime?
Yeah.
Do you got a dime or nickel to spare?
You guys ever run quarters defense in the red zone? By the way, do you have any quarters to spare? Yes.
Anyway, always check your shoes.
I was a little self-conscious last week, and now I honestly, now it's probably going to be manifested more as I say it out loud. But when I went to the locker room last week sometime, I was getting gas on the way there, and when I took the nozzle out, like a decent amount of gas came out and got my shirt. Like, I tried to get out of the way.
So you smell like gasoline.
I'm like, God, I'm too far away from home. Can't go back and change.
Right.
And I even thought about, do I just go to the frickin' team store and buy something? I'm like, then I'm wearing Twins apparel. I was like, no, I can't even do
Wear
that.
a Buxton jersey going, hey, Byron!
So I'm
What's up?
standing outside the locker room, and I saw Royce walk by, and there was a part of me that said, this is a incredibly maybe inappropriate. Can I borrow some cologne of yours? Because like I am so self-conscious that I just reek of damn gasoline.
But then the cologne wouldn't have masked it.
I don't think
it would have just morphed it into like a weirder smell. Did you ask anyone else, Royce? I mean, I guess my question to Royce, you guys know each other well enough now. Could you have just said like bro to bro, hey,
Yes.
can you stand like 5 feet away and just like
Tell
huff
me
the
right
air?
now.
Do I smell like gasoline?
Like gasoline.
He takes a match and is like, yes, lights it,
Wow.
throws it at your shirt.
Bam.
And Declan blows up. That's one less reporter.
Dude, that's the other danger. Yeah, you lean over a lit candle or something, you know.
Yeah.
The
That
hot
is
dog
the
rolling,
worst.
the hot dog rollers.
If that smell gets into your clothes or on your hand, it is damn hard to take it out.
It's awful.
Extract
So
it.
bad.
It's
Yeah.
awful. So I feel you, Judd.
What a week we had.
Statements Monday. Amazing. Minnesota sports with Mackey and Judd. We've hammered out all wedding etiquette, social etiquette, and what shoes to keep apart from each other. And why don't you just throw the old? Why do you even have the shoes with like holes in them?
To walk the dog.
Okay. Everyone has a grubby pair. That's fine.
And a mow with, you know.
Okay, that's fair.
But what I need to do is separate them.
Yes.
I just throw
That's
them
what I do.
all
I have the
together,
grubby
and that's
shoes
where
are in one area, and then the shoes that you would wear in public are in a totally different area.
Totally my fault.
Yeah. Hey, good statement session here today, gentlemen. If you missed any of our Purple Daily, live Vikings Vent Line, live Monday morning, hottest Vikings takes, check those out. And then the Score North Twin Show is going to be quite interesting here as they look to hold off the Mariners, the charging Tigers and Mariners. So, thanks for hanging out with us. Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd.